The Nanospec 3000 film analyzer system utilizes non-contact spectroreflectometry to determine the thickness and refractive index of transparent films on substrates. The machine operates by the diode array spectrophotometer generating a corrected spectrum. The resulting spectral data are then compared to a bare silicon reference to determine the exact film thickness corresponding to the interference pattern. There are limitations to the Nanospec. The transparent films must be reflective in the range of 400 to 800 nanometers. The Nanospec can measure features as small as 100 angstroms up to 20 microangstroms with a resolution of 50 angstroms. It can measure down to 100 nanometers in diameter at 40x objective. It can support up to 6-inch wafers. It can measure up to 3 films. It can support up to 200 different recipes or programs. Measurement time is less than 3 seconds. Generally, it is used for silicon wafers. Please speak with a training staff if you need to use another type of wafer. Maximum film thickness is 30 micrometers. Let's now introduce our lab users. There are various parts to the Nanospec film analyzer. The lamp power supply provides power to the microscope's lamp. Never turn off the power supply. Turning off the power supply will decrease the lifespan of the light bulb. The stage is where you load your wafer. It is manually operated. There is also a 4-turret microscope for measuring your sample at different magnifications. The settings on the lens should never be changed. Do not change them. The spectrophotometer head is located on top of the microscope. This black box holds a light bulb. See the MIRC staff if the bulb needs replacing. The eyepiece is used for calibration purposes. Finally, there are 3 filters for the Nanospec. There are orange, yellow, and black filters. The yellow filter is used to allow wavelengths of light from 480 to 900 nanometers to pass through. The orange filter is used to allow wavelengths of light from 580 to 900 nanometers to pass through. And the black filter is used to allow wavelengths of light from 200 to 900 nanometers to pass through. To install a filter, slide it into a slot located near the lamp. If the reference silicon wafer, which is a bare silicon wafer, is not already on the stage, place it on there on the right side of the stage. Then load your sample on the left side of the stage. Make sure that the sample is loaded flat on the stage. Whenever you are loading or unloading a sample, make sure to move the sample away from underneath the objective. This prevents accidentally hitting the sample into the objective. Once you have your sample loaded, begin the Nanospec software by clicking on the icon on the desktop. The program will then start up in the main screen. The main screen will list all the measurement recipes. The Nanospec software supports up to 200 different recipes. We will now select a recipe in order to measure our sample. In our case, we are using oxide on silicon, so we go ahead and select that. Because this is the first time we are using this type of measurement since we logged in, a red window will pop up and ask us if we want to do a reference measurement. Click on Yes. Then we are prompted to move the stage to the dark reference position. We can do this by moving the stage all the way to the left or all the way to the right. Once you have the stage in the proper position, click on OK. We now need to focus on the reference silicon wafer using the focusing knob located on the right side of the microscope. We focus by making the edges of the square as sharp as possible. Then click on OK. Now enter in a sample ID. Now we are ready to measure the sample. Move the stage so that the sample is under the objective. Then focus on part of the sample. Then click on measurement. In our case, we have a fit of less than 0.1, which is good for this type of film. We can now repeat this process several times by focusing on different parts of the sample and then pressing the Enter key on the keyboard. If you want to redo any of your measurements, simply click on it and then press Remeasure. You can show the graph of your data by clicking on the Graph tab. The graph shows reflective light intensity versus wavelength. By going back to the other screen by clicking on the List tab and then clicking on Statistics,